Hey everybody, this is Wakia. Thought I'd do a video today on Geronimo, and I'm going to read a little bit from this book here. Oops, here we go. How can we do this? There it is. Once They Move Like the Wind. It chronicles Apache activity, and the part that I'm going to read here is a very exciting part, the kick-ass part about what happened when after Geronimo's family was murdered by Mexicans, and they retreated and renewed themselves and came back to take revenge on what had been done, and especially Geronimo, because his whole family was killed, his wife, his kids, his mother, and he was waiting a long time to go back and kick some ass on these Mexicans, okay? And so I thought I'd read this part, and it's also about how he got his name. I don't even know if I can see in this light here, but I'm going to give it a good try. It's kind of dark in here. Near Arizpe, one of the few important towns in Sonora, the party camped. 8 Mexicans rode out from town to parley. Now this is the party of Apaches that camped. 8 Mexicans rode out from the town to parley. The Apaches seized and killed them on the spot. This was to draw the troops from the city, recalled Geronimo. And the next day they came, and an all-day skirmish was inconclusive, but the Indians managed to capture the Mexican supply train, greatly augmenting their store of guns and ammunition. The pitched battle, a rarity for Apaches, and it was a rarity because they didn't fight battles. They snuck up on people and took more of a guerrilla type affair rather than a battle, a guerrilla tactic of sneaking up, camouflaging, arising out of nowhere. So the pitched battle, a rarity for Apaches, took place the following day. Some 200 Chiricahuas against 100 Mexican soldiers, representing 2 companies of cavalry and 2 of infantry. I recognized the cavalry as the soldiers who had killed my people at Janos, insisted Geronimo. This author says, since he had never seen the soldiers who perpetrated the massacre of his family, this claim may seem dubious. Yet keen-eyed survivors could have described the attackers to Geronimo to such detail that he could recognize their horses and uniforms when he saw them, which was probably the case. Because of the magnitude of his personal loss, Geronimo was allowed to direct the battle against the Mexican soldiers. He arranged the Apaches in a hollow circle among trees behind a river. The Mexicans advanced to within 400 yards. Cavalry ranged behind infantry. Armed with the vision that bullets could not kill him, Geronimo led a charge. In all the battle, I thought of my murdered mother, wife, and babies, of my vow for vengeance, and I fought with fury. Many fell by my hand. That's from his own writing. The battle lasted 2 hours. At its climax, Geronimo stood at the Apache vanguard in a clearing with only 3 other warriors. They had no rifles. They had shot all their arrows and used up their spears, killing Mexicans. We had only our hands and knives with which to fight. Suddenly, a new contingent of Mexicans arrived, guns blazing. 2 of Geronimo's comrades fell. Geronimo and the other ran toward the Apache line. In step beside him, the other Apache was cut down by a Mexican sword. Reaching the line of warriors, Geronimo seized a spear and whirled. The Mexican pursuing him fired and missed, just as Geronimo's spear pierced his body. In an instant, Geronimo seized the dead soldier's sword and used it to hold off the Mexican who had killed his companion. The 2 grappled and fell to earth. Geronimo raised his knife and struck home. Then he leapt to his feet, waving the dead soldier's sword in defiance, looking for more Mexicans to kill. The remainder had fled. It goes on. It was one of the greatest Apache victories of the 19th century. By the Mexicans' own count, they had lost 26 dead and 46 wounded. The tattered survivors limped back to the town of Campos. I think that's Campos. No, Cumpas. There you go. It's hard to see in this light, sorry. A fresh force sent out to bury the dead and pursue the Apaches was so horrified by the battle scene that they refused to trail the Indians further. According to Apache tradition, it was at this battle that the Mexicans spontaneously gave Geronimo the name that would become famous around the world. The only version passed down to Americans was recorded by an Indian agent decades later. In his telling, Geronimo was not content to fight, according to Apache custom, from behind rocks and greasewood bushes. Instead, he rushed into the open many times, running, zigzag, and dodging so that the bullets from the rurales, or the soldiers' rifles, did not hit him. Each time he ran out this way, he killed a rurale with his hunting knife, took the rurale's rifle and cartridges, and ran zigzag back again to his people. This is a quote from Geronimo. Did not know how to use the rifles, so he gave them to other Apache warriors. I guess it's saying he didn't know how to use the rifles at the time, because this was early on. So he gave them to other Apache warriors. The soldiers, addled by the behavior of this berserker, began to cry out, "Cuidado, cuidado, Geronimo! Watch out, Geronimo!" Geronimo's biographer, Angie Debo, speculates that the Mexicans were invoking Saint Jerome, Geronimo, in Spanish, yet it is hard to imagine why terrified young soldiers would appeal to the bookish Jerome patron, saint of librarians and scholars. Perhaps the battle took place on Jerome's feast day, September 30th, but Geronimo's account locates it in summer, Mexican records in January. In any event, according to the Indian agent who recorded the tale, the other Apache warriors had no idea what the Mexicans meant by the cry Geronimo. They thought it might be the name of some god who did not like the rurales. The Apaches themselves took up the cry. Eventually, even his fellow warriors began to call him Geronimo. He had earned his name. I think that's a great story. It's a story about the Apache and the warriors and how they fought and how they didn't take any bullshit. If somebody killed their family or if somebody forced them off their land or whatever, they fought, unlike the wimps that we got today that don't do anything. I wanted to comment a little bit about, since we see the internet going down, I'm going to take every opportunity I can probably to comment at different places and try to open people's eye and even invoke them to action of some sort. I don't care if it's peaceful or violent, whatever they want to do, just get off your ass and do something. Because we're getting to the point now where people, if they take down the internet and if they put the moves on us like they say they're going to do, then you might as well make hay while the sun shines, okay? With the speech on the internet, telling people telling it like it is, and just pull out all the stops. Say whatever you want to say. If trolls come on, try to give you a hard time, tell them to fuck off. Tell them they're dumb shits. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care. I remember one time I said, don't engage trolls. Well, that rules out now. We're on the final, we're in the final battle here, so anything goes, okay? You can do whatever you want. Go out and kick some trolls' ass. Go out and kick some of these dumb shits that sit there all the day on their computer. Fat ass assholes that are probably getting paid by the government to harass people. Go out there and kick some ass and take some of them down. Take them down with knowledge, though. You know, they'll come on there. You can write something great, like I wrote something about Geronimo, and somebody will come back and go, what? And they'll pick one little thing out of there to distract people from getting the message of the whole story. You know, like, Apaches couldn't run that far in the heat. Are you kidding? They could run that far, 80 miles and farther. There's documented cases of it. You can believe it or not, but the Apaches had a power, okay? And it was given to them by Houston, and you didn't get that power lightly. It was something that could put you beyond the realms of physical endurance, okay? You could do wondrous. You could melt into canyons. You could disappear. Hell, they couldn't find Geronimo for 5 years with 9,000 people. So I'm saying go out there and kick some ass, people. It's before this all goes down. I mean, kick some ass in the way of like, hey, this is what's happening here. You know, people like to sit around on the internet and just BS each other and debate about, well, it's this way. No, it's that way. Well, actually, there was a conversation about ammo on there. It's interesting, but totally stupid. Some guy coming on saying, yeah, ammo's been sabotaged and it's not going to be any good after so many. Well, get out there now then and use the ammo and use the gunpowder right now before it does, you know, disintegrate or whatever. But that's a bunch of bullshit. There's so many people out there with guns and ammo and bullets and bullet making devices, like they call them reloading equipment, and there's just a million. People got arsenals buried in their backyards, out in the forest, over here, over there. Who are they trying to kid? It would take them, like I said in this post I put on there, you know, people were all worried about, oh yeah, they're going to get the gun. It would take them 20 years, maybe 100 years. 100 years from now, they'll be digging up people's backyards and finding gun stashes and arsenals and reloading equipment. And that's how they are. That's how people are. And if you don't think there's a million guns out there, that's why you really don't need to be afraid of these assholes. I'm just being blunt today. I mean, there's so many people with guns. Now, do they have the courage to use them, or are they just sitting back waiting to get attacked? I don't think so. We saw what happened at the Bundy Ranch. The militia just showed up, and when other people saw that militia was showing up, there was nobody but on the internet. Now, see, here's the internet thing again. It spread on the internet. And that's where the people saw the standoff with the militia, and all of a sudden thousands showed up. Now, if those thousands hadn't showed up, it might have gone the other way. So people, it's really time to pull out the stops. Pull out the stops on what you have to say. Don't be afraid of trolls. Don't be afraid of the NSA. Don't be afraid of the government. Don't be afraid of anybody. Why at this point? It's a moot point. Say what the fuck you want to say. I always have. So what if they come beating on my door? I'll take 3 or 4 of them down before they even get to me. And then I'll go out in a blaze of glory. Hell, I'd rather go out that way and sit in a rocking chair back and forth talking about how they took all our rights away. All these big bad warriors out there, these big bad people on the internet that talk a big talk that they can't put their mouth, you know, they can mouth off, but you know, when it comes to action, it's pathetic. Where's all the militia groups forming up? Where's all the, let's see some action here? If we're watching a movie, it might as well be exciting, right? It might as well be exciting. And if the shit comes down in America, bring it on. Let's have it on now. Let's get down now. Let's get it over with. Let's get these banking MFers out of here. Let's get these sellouts like Obama and the whole friggin' Congress and anybody in the government, anybody that works in the government, I don't care who you are, you're a sellout. Don't work for the government. Get out of it. Find another job, okay? Because when they ask you to kill your fellow man, are you going to be able to? And if you are, well, you're as bad as they are. You're as bad as the powers to be, the Illuminati, or whatever the hell it is. Once you figure out who it really is, I mean, we know it's people high up on the scale of monetary, the monetary scale, high up on the monetary scale. We know it's money-controlled BS. Isn't it time that people just stop tiptoeing around and pulled out the stops and just called a spade a spade? I do. I want to see some action out there. I want to see people. I mean, if I'm going to sit around, and I'm Taoist, if I'm going to sit around and watch a movie, and that's all it is, it's a movie. It's a horrific movie, but shit. As long as we're watching a movie, let's get down. Let's get down, baby. Let's quit this BS with the talk all the time. And these stupid news things and these stupid financial things where you get all the latest info on how you can bend over and let them stick you where the sun don't shine. Aren't you sick of that, people? This is real here. See this picture up there? That's Geronimo in the background. That's Goyathwe, one who yawns. That's a true warrior. Okay? And Nana, who lived to be 80 years old or 90, but rode till he was 80 in the saddle. And Mangus, Colorado, and Cochise, and Juh, and Lausanne and Goyan and Katane and all the heavy-duty warriors, Apache Kid, everybody, that had enough cojones to get out and fight for their freedom, okay, till the death or till they got sent off to a prison camp in Florida. And we got, on the internet, you look around and we got a bunch of, I mean, if you're going to talk the talk, if you're going to talk warriorship, as in true warriorship like Geronimo and Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull and Chief Joseph and I could go on and on. Okay? Nana and Goyan and don't talk true warriorship, especially if you're tribal, and not do anything about it, because that's a slap in the face. That's an insult to the warriors that went before, who defended their freedom and their honor and their families and their land. See, that's what's wrong with these people, the European man. I'll just put it that way. The melting pot out in America. That's what's wrong with these people. They have no tribal juices flowing. Okay. They have nothing going. Nothing going on upstairs. Okay, so guess I'll leave it there today. I got enough off my chest. But if you're going to go on these sites, or if you see me on a site giving somebody some crap, some troll or some idiot or some dimwit, back me up and I'll back you up. Back me up. Jump in. This is a tribe. Jump in on these MFers that are government agents. sent out. I don't know why they need them anymore, though. If they're going to take down the internet, but they're making their last stand too. They're probably all going to lose their jobs. Let's hope. It's just pathetic. If you're going to call yourself a warrior, be a warrior. Be a warrior. Be brave. Have a brave heart, okay? A strong heart. Don't screw around on the internet and act all fearful and like whatever you say, you got to walk on eggshells. That's all over with, people. So I'll just come right off the cuff and say, if I don't like somebody on the internet, if I see that they're a dimwit or a dumb shit or uninformed or don't have any brains or shit for brains or don't know anything about anything except to write one-line replies to your full paragraph comments, you need to kick their ass. Seriously, have fun. Let's do it, people. Let's wade out into the muck, like Geronimo when he zigzagged and he ran and he fought back and forth. When I read that, I got inspired today. I'm fired up. Let's see some real courage. Not a bunch of friggin' talk. Yak, 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 yak. Oh, the ammo won't hold out, or they got more than we do. Man, there's ammo all over this friggin' land, people. I'm telling you, I know personally of storages all over the friggin' land, okay? So come get me. You know? Just from people that have talked about it. I might not know where it is exactly, but I know they got it. It's out there. Reloading equipment. Every time they tried it, let me just clue you into something here, okay? Every time that they came up with the deal in the last, let's say, 20 years about how they were going to put some kind of Brady bill or checking the gun thing, or every time that happened, and that's happened like at least 100 times, and it looked bad, and the NRA was out there, and Wayne LaPierre and all that. Every time that happened, people went out, gun owners, and bought millions, and people that even weren't gun owners, and bought millions and millions and millions of rounds and guns and ammo and reloading equipment. Shit, I remember going in trying to buy reloading equipment, and it was off the shelf. I finally got it, but you couldn't get it. Everybody bought it out, man. And so you're going to tell me that there isn't little bullet factories all over the United States and guns stashed all over and AK-47s and AR-15s and Winchester 73s and handguns and Berettas and, I mean, just gun upon gun upon gun upon gun upon gun. So that's why, in a sense, Americans don't have to worry about being attacked. If they're smart, if they got all these guns, they can defend themselves. It's not like Nazi Germany yet. On that regard, on all other regards, yes. Okay, because you're going to have trouble even going across state lines now. They ask you shit like, you got guns, you got drugs, you got this, you got that. No, I got this, though, which is your IQ. It's just getting old, people, and Thunder's juices, warrior juices are flowing here. Maybe, maybe this is my last hurrah, Who knows? I just can't believe people are so mealy-mouthed, mamby-pamby, talk a big talk, get on the internet, do all this shit, talk about, even if we have to do it peacefully, people, they say, some of them. I'm not advocating violence. even if we have to do it peacefully. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? Didn't the founding fathers say that we might have to band together as a militia? That's why they created the Second Amendment. That's why militias are legal today. That's why, for now. Isn't that why we can have thousands of guns? Is because the founding, millions of guns, billions of guns, because the founding fathers said you might need them someday, people, because your government's going to get tyrannical, and it's going to get Nazi-like it is today. And it's going to get like the Bluecoats when they attacked the Apaches back in the Old West. And you're going to be fighting for your life, not against just the cops. You're going to be fighting for your life against your fellow man who's out to steal your food when the food's off the shelves. And wouldn't it be better to band with your fellow man right now and turn that energy towards those who are causing this shit? Wake up! Why are people afraid to fight? It's an honorable profession. It always has been, if it's done with honor, with the sword, the samurai, the classic brave on the plains, crazy horse. It was an honor to defend your people. It was an honor to be free. Where is the honor? Where is the fucking honor anymore? Where are the juices flowing? Yeah, we got to get out there and take care of this, or we can't let them encroach on this and do that. Bunch of babies out there. You want to suck your thumbs? I got a pacifier for you. You want to suck on that a while? This is a call to action for people. It's a call to action to wake up. While there's still little remnants and tatters of the Constitution that say you can do certain things, get out there and do it. Trust me, the strength is not that it's just a bunch of guys in suits and ties walking around dragging little briefcases behind them on little wheeled things, thinking they're hot shit, and they ain't. They wouldn't know which end of a gun is up and down. They wouldn't know how to load one. They have other people do it for them. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today. That was kind of a different video from Thunder, right? You didn't expect that. Well, sometimes I'm yin, sometimes I'm yang. You know, the yin is the darker, gets a little bit more deeper, and the yang is sometimes hard. And, you just got to go with the flow, people. Got to go with the flow. And the flow right now is I'm feeling this intensity building, okay? And I'm feeling like, and a good friend told me this too. I think Natalie told me, somebody told me that when the shit hits the fan, people are going to be going against each other instead of going after the ones that are really responsible for this. Okay? And it's beyond voting. Okay? Vote from the rooftops is how you vote now. It isn't going to the ballot box, because that shit don't count. It don't count. And there's so much bullcrap going on. False flags and this and that. And it's like, let's end it. We have the power to end it. We have the power to end it with our minds if we wanted to, but most people are not that far along on the evolutionary process of enlightenment. Okay? So they don't even know how to project energy. So if you don't know how to project energy, do it from an earth level. Hello? Viva Zapata. Geronimo. Man, I used to say that when I was a kid, whenever I was going to do something that took courage, even if it was just bailing out of a swing. Geronimo! Geronimo! Yeah! And they said it when they jumped out of the planes over Normandy. Geronimo up, people. I'm Thunder. I'm out of here.